Okay, I think we're on, and we're slightly discombobulated, but we're here, and it's all a good thing. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Spotlight. This is edition number 26, and we have moved from the cafe. The cafe is across the hallway, but as it turns out, there was some construction going on upstairs, and it was really, really loud. But we're happy to be here in this cute little air-conditioned spot. And I'm thrilled to let you know that we have two guests today. And turn it down.
Por eso,
Pues sí,
pues ya le bajé.
pues bájale más. And here I am arguing about temperature with my dear friend Carmen Porras from El Arrayán. Carmen, how are you today?
Oculto.
Okay. I need to get, okay, hold on. Let me get rid of this banner that shouldn't be showing up. And let me put the Oculto banner. I keep running into people from my past, people from Vallarta Lifestyles. And that's when I got to know you. And that's why we talk about the restaurant as
Yes, we do.
what it used to be, but now it is not called that. It is called Oculto. Of course, I know that. I am looking at the camera now. I promise I am. There you go. There's all the information about Oculto, but of course you already know Carmen, and you already know me. Carmen, what's new? What's going on?
Hola.
Hola.
What's new? I don't know what to tell you about. It's been hot as hell. I keep walking the dogs in the morning, so I have to get up earlier because it gets too hot. What else? The other day, the big dog that I walk pulled me and I fell down and I have a few scratches, but that's it. What else? I cooked a lasagna last week at home, which was very good. And then we were able to cut it later.
Was this a Mexican lasagna or was this
lasagna?
Lasagna. With Spanish accent, I love it. Not a lasagna, but a lasagna.
And we were able to freeze for later. And that's it.
So I have a question that I didn't
Yes.
tell you anything about.
Okay.
What's the knocking?
It's the construction's upstairs.
There's construction going on upstairs, so we're having a freaky day. I hope everybody's here, everybody that needs to be here. I see some good mornings, good afternoons, and good stuff. I don't see anybody complaining about construction or anything. Carmen, I've been thinking a lot about white chickens.
White chickens, yes. That's a subject to talk about. Yes.
How, we're not gonna go there, but just because it's been on my mind. I went to Cinepolis the other day and I saw the trailer for a movie.
That is called White Chicken?
No. But all the actors were like Mexico City actors.
Blue-eyed.
Yes, Mexican.
What was the movie?
Who cares? They all, and then Giga sitting over there, and she's laughing too. They had this like Chilango, Mexico City accent that
Yes.
not just sort of makes me go.
Let's define white chickens.
Okay, white chickens, for people that don't know, and I see, oh my God, Giga is losing it over there. Race and discrimination in Mexico 101. It'll be very short. You'll survive this. White chickens are upper class, light-skinned Mexicans that think their shit doesn't smell.
And would mostly think that living in the United States would be much better for them
Than living in Mexico. Yeah.
And being Mexican.
Yes, that is a white chicken. That is a white chicken. And we're not going to talk about white chickens for more than 2 minutes.
Okay.
Although the conversation deserves its entire episode. But what's your take on white chickens?
I feel sorry for them
Me too.
because even there might be some white chickens that haven't traveled abroad, but they're still considering themselves white chickens. Maybe some white chickens don't consider themselves white chickens. That's the thing. But if a Mexican has not traveled abroad, it's very difficult to realize what we have in Mexico. So all these things that uh, foreigners that move to Mexico or spend some time in Mexico, and they have chance to be around Mexicans and have Mexican friends and meet Mexican people in the restaurants or the market or walking around. They rave about us being super friendly, super welcoming, um, very helpful, very warm.
Very not white chicken.
So when you're Mexican, in a lot of times you don't realize what we have, and you think the world is like that, and it's not like that.
I know.
And if someone behaves as a white Mexican, they might not realize that the best thing for someone that was born in Mexico is to realize the superpowers that we have as Mexicans.
Yes.
And I think a lot of the people that we may consider white Mexicans don't realize that, and that makes me sad.
Yes.
That makes me sad.
There's an interesting correlation. And we're here to talk about restaurant and food and stuff, but I'm sorry, we're both Mexican and I just need to bring this up. There's an interesting, the distant cousin. Oh God, I'm treading into complicated territory, but the relationship between white Mexicans and privileged friends from north of the border. Should we have a conversation about this at some point, viewers? Just leave your comment. If we're wasting your time talking about white chickens, just write the word wasting my time. But if you're curious, as some people tend to be, about the very real racial discrimination that goes on in Mexico among us Mexican nationals, just write spill the tea or something. But enough. Let's talk about, yeah, don't give me that look. Let's talk about Oculto. What's going on at Oculto these days? You started, I'm going to answer my own question. You started selling chiles en nogada.
Yes.
How's that going?
It's going well. We could be selling more. If you have ever tried chiles en nogada, or if you have never tried chiles en nogada, it's a wonderful seasonal summer dish that we have in Mexico. It originated in the state of Puebla in central Mexico, and it's filled with pork and beef and plantain, pear, peaches, apple. There's also almonds, raisins, and that cooks for a long time and becomes super, super soft with all this ground, like chopped beef and pork. And it's delicious. And we try to serve it cool, because that's when you can, taste all the wonderful flavors inside. And it's a chile poblano that has been roasted and peeled and cleaned. And then on top of it, there's a creamy sauce, although there's no cream in it. We use ricotta and we use pecans. And we also use at the top to garnish it with some pomegranate seeds and parsley.
Let us talk briefly, because this may come as a surprise to some people. This is a dish that is served room temperature or
cool,
cold.
Yeah.
Yeah, or cool. It's a savory dish because of the filling. It is quite delicious, and my stomach turns funny whenever I get served a warm chile en nogada.
Yes, it doesn't taste the same. It's a little bit like wines. If you have a red wine and you serve it a little bit chilled, a little bit cooler, then you feel all the flavors in it. If you serve it room temperature in Vallarta in the summer or warm, then all those flavors expand and you don't get to actually, get all the nuisances of the of the flavors that are in the dish. So it's a little bit like that. Yeah.
And you are offering, look at all the comments. We'll get to the comments, but what is the term? White, says Dale.
White chickens.
White. And then Betsy says white chicken, and then Betsy says spill the tea, and then Marie Murdoch says spill the beans. I love it. Anyhow, back to the food. Well, it's an interesting conversation, and we can talk about that when. Yes, I'm sorry for the finger. Our other guest is sitting here, and we're meeting for the first time, and I'm really giddy about the book, but I don't want to get ahead of myself. So, chiles en nogada. They are labor intensive.
Yes, they're not difficult to cook, but there's a lot of things to clean and to peel and to chop. And yeah, it's labor intensive. It's not difficult, but it's a great dish that we love cooking. And to yeah, if you've had them anywhere else in Puerto Vallarta, I can assure you our chiles en nogada from Oculto are very different. We don't use ground beef, ground pork. We chop it by hand. So it's basically less fat and more texture to them. So it's a better quality, and I would bet our chiles en nogada are better than any of the others you can buy in any restaurant or other place.
Excellent. So the game is like this, and I made a mistake announcing this yesterday at Coffee and Headlines. If you order your chile en nogada by Thursday at noon, then you can stop by on Saturday and pick up your chile or chiles en nogada by Saturday.
Yes.
Saturday is the time in which people go
Yes.
pick them up.
Yes.
It's not like they can show up on Friday. They're like, we decided
No,
to be early.
Friday.
Saturday.
Yeah, pick up on Saturday morning.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. You are not an English-speaking local until you've tried a chile en nogada. It is definitely one of those amazing dishes from Mexico.
Yeah, and it has the three colors of our flag. So
Of course.
green, white, and red. And it's one of those dishes that is served all over Mexico now during August, September for our national month. Yeah, it's very tasty. It looks Christmassy, but it's not a Christmas dish.
Unfortunately, you're right. When you look at it, it really has this sense of being something that you would put under a Christmas tree. But no, it's a three colors of our flag.
Yes.
And you also have a public dinner coming up.
Yes, we have a public dinner coming up. It's on Saturday, September 28th. And it's for still celebrating our National Month Day.
A huevo.
Month, yeah.
Yes.
So September 28th, which is a Saturday, and we have a very Mexican menu that we put together. The menu, you can choose either a guava mezcal cocktail or a prickly pear margarita. See? And then the pass around appetizers I will serve you in Oculto in our lounge area. That's a duck taco with prune sauce. Then we have tlacoyo with corn tlacoyo with ricotta and squash blossoms, and a bay scallop and mango ceviche. See, and then the first course is a bean corn tamale with hoja santa and cheese. And then the main course is the smoked pork ribs in fruit mole, which is mancha manteles. We'll get to that.
Oh yeah, we have photos of all these chingaderas to show you. So
the ingredients.
Well, I call them chingaderas just because.
Selected, it's paired with 2 glasses of selected Mexican wines, and the dessert would be a toasted corn and spice cookie with fresh corn ice cream and piloncillo syrup.
How do we convince, even before we dive into all these wonderful exotic ingredients, what do we have to do, Carmen, to entice our English-speaking local friends to try more Mexican wines? I mean, you guys.
I don't know.
For those of you that think that the world originated in California, or that Chilean and Argentinian wines are the bomb. Well, you're right. There's great California wines. There's great South American wines. Mexican wines.
And there's even more regions now producing wine that were not available maybe 5, 10 years ago.
There's a new winery in Jala.
Here in Jalisco, they're
in-
producing, yeah.
Yeah,
Sí, Jala, Nayarit.
Jala, Nayarit.
Sí, in Jalisco, they're producing near the lake of Chapala, beautiful rosé.
Mhm.
Also in Chihuahua, there's wines from Sonora. There's a bunch of things that we haven't tried yet, but we're aware of.
Excellent. I love it. Sherry says, we are easy and love to try Mexican wines. Just saying, of course you should try Mexican wines, Sherry. They are absolutely wonderful wines. But you know what? Mexican wines are better when somebody's holding your hand. And that's a beautiful thing, if I may say so, about having dinner at Oculto, is that things don't just happen randomly. Carmen and Claudia, her wife, they go out of their way to explain everything that is going to be on the menu. But we have an extra advantage over the Oculto experience. We have photos to share.
Yes.
So we go there?
Yes, please.
Okay, so Carmen pre-selected. So, oh, yummy, yummy. Some interesting ingredients. So I'm looking at these sexy guavas. Ooh.
Yes. So guava is a small but mighty fruit, a treasure from the Americas that originated here in the Americas. The ancient Mayans and Mexicas already enjoyed its sweet, tangy flavor.
Mhm.
Today, it's still the soul of many recipes, and of course, our delicious mezcal cocktail. A toast with guava is a toast with history.
Ooh, that's fancy.
It's also full of vitamin C.
I love guavas.
If your stomach feels a little bit upset, you can make a guava drink or make a tea, an infusion with the leaves of the guava tree, and that helps your stomach a lot.
Absolutely.
Yes, definitely.
Just in case you've never eaten a guava raw, you're looking at it and you eat them with the peel and everything. You eat, well, I swallow the seeds.
Yeah, the seeds.
Yeah, some people might feel like, oh no, the seeds, why am I going to swallow those
They're
seeds?
fine.
They're fine.
Yeah.
So that's how we eat the guava.
And also a specialty here in this region, especially from Mascota, Talpa de Allende, up in the mountains, they also prepare rollo de guayaba.
Which is really
good. It's a confection, and it's the guava that is cooked for very, very long hours with sugar, and it becomes this, it turns a little bit darker brown, but a lot of the flavors that are there when it's cooked, it's not there when it's raw. It tastes very differently, and the texture becomes like a fruit roll.
Yeah, it's a paste.
Yeah, but it's a paste and it's thick. And sometimes, if you are lucky, you will find the rollo de guayaba, which is the roll. It's about this big, and you take a slice. But if you're lucky, you might find rollo de guayaba con cajeta, which is that burnt milk, that goat's milk that is burnt as a caramel in between that guava paste is something amazing, and it's not available everywhere in Mexico. It's from this area.
I hear. Oh my God, the family's here. Do you want them to come in, or do they want to stay? Huh? They're fine.
Yeah, the kids are a little.
Right. Okay. Yes. I'm sorry, I'm so distracted because it's so much fun to have two wonderful guests. But okay, anyhow, this is a guava paste and cheese.
Yes. So you can add some aged cheese.
If you have a slice of aged cheese,
like a Chihuahua or a Manchego or something like that, it goes really, really well. It makes a great contrast with the creaminess of the cheese and the flavors in the guava. It's very aromatic.
Yes, and if you have to go with a gringo cheese, sharp Vermont cheddar.
If you buy some guavas, fresh guavas, and have them in your fridge, have them in a plastic bag because they stink up your fridge. So it's one of those funny things that happens with guavas.
Okay, and look at this, a beautiful prickly pear.
See, in this picture, we see a nopal cactus. That's the leaf, that big pad right there. and on top is the prickly pear. So prickly pears and nopales are a symbol of our national identity. It's in the flag, it's in our money, it's in our national symbols.
And it's in
The eagle is standing on a nopal cactus, right?
eating a serpent.
So yeah, when we say us Mexicans, when we say, "Oh yeah, it was so Mexican," and we say he had the nopal on his forehead, con el nopal en la
Con el
frente.
nopal en la frente, sí, sí,
So
sí.
it really, really identifies us. I'm almost pretty sure nopales are only eaten in Mexico, maybe southwestern U.S. to some extent, but not in Central America or South America. So it's very much our identity. We cook the nopales, the paddles. We cook them in salads. We make we mix it with egg and cook it in a broth like a tomato broth. We use it in soups. We use it we grill it. We do a lot of things with nopales. And when they want to leave the nopales to produce the prickly pears, they let them be really, really big and become almost like trees. They're huge.
Yes.
And very thick. ¿Cómo se dice el tronco?
Trunk.
The trunk of the tree.
Yeah, the tree trunk.
The tree trunk. It becomes very, very heavy plant. And then that's when the petals produce a flower. And then that's pollinated, and we get the prickly pears. In prickly pears in Spanish, we say tuna. Tuna, not the fish,
has
the
nothing to do
prickly
with the
pear.
fish.
And
It's-
here
yes.
you can see the red prickly pears, the ones that are green. It's not red yet because it's hasn't fully matured. But there are different colors of prickly pears that are edible. See?
Another favorite restaurant owner of mine
Mhm.
is watching from South Korea. Michael Buford says hello.
Hola.
Michael, come back. We miss your Thai chingaderas. We really do. Okay, let me take a look at the next photo that you brought. Ay, qué rico. Flor de calabaza. Squash blossoms.
The squash blossom. It's been since pre-Hispanic times, delicacy.
Yeah.
They're very, very delicate. You have to cut them and consume them fast. They, ¿cómo se dice que se marchitan?
They wilt.
They wilt very fast, and it's very delicate flavor. We're going to use it with some corn that is filled with some ricotta and the squash blossoms.
Do you think there's many countries that eat the squash flowers like we do? Because I mean, the squash is a very well-known vegetable.
Well, the squash originated in the Americas also. It's one of
Mhm.
our indigenous ingredients. And was part of the diet, very much so the diet of the indigenous people before the Spaniards came. And it's one of those plants that is eaten, you can eat all the parts. You can eat the ends of the actual plant that is
Mhm.
very tender and use it in soups. You can use the flower, you can use the fruit, you can use the seeds. So I know for a fact they cook them in Italy, but I don't know if they cook them somewhere else. But in Mexico, it's cooked in soups, it's stuffed and fried, and it's mixed with ricotta or other cheeses and used as stuffing for other things, So, yeah, it's a great thing. Has a very particular flavor too.
I love it. I love them. And they're great in quesadillas.
They're great in
Oh
quesadillas.
my God. Flor de calabaza. Yummy.
Yes.
Uy, hoja santa.
Hoja santa. This is one of those aromatic herbs that we have in Mexico.
Yes.
It's considered also as a vegetable because you can use it, just eat it like that. Also, there's a recipe called huevos enojados. It doesn't mean huevos that are angry. It means huevos that are cooked on a leaf. So on a comal, you put the leaf and then you cook the egg on top, a fried egg.
Is there a place in Vallarta that does this? Because I've never had them.
No, it's I've seen it in Oaxaca.
Ay, qué rico.
And I guess in Veracruz and in Chiapas they also cook it like that. Huevos enojados. it's a main ingredient, the star ingredient of a dish, but it also complements other dishes very well. It goes really, really well with fish,
Mhm.
and it has a very particular flavor of aniseed and licorice.
Yes.
And it also has some medicinal properties
Yes.
for your
Yes.
tummy, for your lungs. Yes, many uses.
What is this angry corn husk that you found?
Angry corn husk?
Well, look at it.
It's a black corn cob.
Where the hell did you find this?
It's online. In Mexico, we have 60 breeds of corn. Yes, corn was planted in different parts of Mexico, and it changed, and there's a varieties after the 60 breeds is even more. This is black corn.
And that is pinole.
Yes, pinole is the actual corn kernel that is toasted, roasted on a comal, and then it's ground. After it cools down, it's ground, and it's a fine, fine powder. And pinole is it can be prepared as a drink or as an ingredient and other things. It can be uh, it can be consumed in a cold drink or in a warm drink as an atole. And has a lot of properties. And for example, the raramuri in Chihuahua,
Mhm.
in their culture, they have a lot of, because they live up in the sierras and very isolated communities, small communities, they run all the time to go from a place to another place. Cars don't go around very much in those areas, and it's in their culture to walk and run long distances.
They win competitions.
And the ultra marathonists, the white folks and foreigners, they discovered their special thing to have energy for a long time was pinole.
Oh, really?
Pinole, yes.
Because I've seen some of the ladies that compete.
Yes.
They go out and run these
Yes.
super long marathons
Yes.
wearing skirts
Yes.
and sandals.
So the thing about corn prepared like that is that you grind it with some spices and some sugar, and
Wow.
the energy that it gives you, it lasts for a very long time. That kind of carbohydrate, your body uses it in a different way. Here for the dinner, we're going to be using it in a cookie with some butter and some spices, and it's part of our dessert.
Yummy. And then, manchamanteles.
The main course.
The main course. How do we explain manchamanteles?
Manchamanteles, the actual translation, the literal translation is tablecloth stainer.
It is. I
It
mean,
is.
there's nothing funny about it, but you're right.
Tablecloth stainer, and it is cooked in several different states of southern Mexico, in Veracruz, in Puebla, in Oaxaca. And the base of it is those fruits that you see there: pear, apple, pineapple, plantain. So it makes a mole, but it's a mole that is based on fruit, and it's delicious with the smoked pork ribs that Chef Diego makes. Very, very tender, full of the bone.
I love the engine that you've created because it's you and Claudia. And then there's Regina at the bar, and then it's Diego the chef. How do you guys stay inspired and motivated after so many years of working together?
It's a good question. It's a great team that we put together. We know each other very, very well, and we communicate very, very well. And if we go somewhere else for lunch with Regina, she'll say, "Oh, this is a great drink. I can make it better." And she gets inspired like that. Or going to the market and seeing, seasonal fruits and some other herbs that she hasn't seen before, and then she gets to taste things. And I get inspired by traveling in Mexico and tasting other people's food. Also by learning about ingredients and watching YouTube videos and reading cooking books. Also, Chef Diego, he teaches in a local school. He teaches some of the subjects for the gastronomy degree. And so he is in contact with a lot of the younger generation, uh, meaning younger than us,
Ah, well.
definitely. The students that are maybe 20, 21, So he also gets inspired by some ideas with his students.
That's wonderful.
Yes,
wonderful.
it's a great team.
Full disclosure, as you know, Carmen and Oculto is a community partner of Coffee and Headlines. And full disclosure, Carmen and I have known each other for over a decade.
No,
Más?
almost 20 years.
Okay, over, I said over a decade. And we are good friends and we love and respect each other. But even if that wasn't the case, the dining experience at Oculto, I cannot recommend it more than I have in the past and will continue to recommend in the future. There are a lot of restaurants in Puerto Vallarta that will offer Mexican food, but there's only a handful that are truly a Mexican specialty restaurant. And the way you get pampered at Oculto, just think about this for a second. There's a chef, there's a sous chef, there's a bartender, there's a hostess, and there's another host. There's 5 people. The maximum amount people that can sit down for dinner at Oculto is 15.
16.
16. But it's roughly, you have 3 people per person looking after your every need, and you are treated to Mexican cuisine that is from all over the country, not necessarily the stuff that you find in every other restaurant here in town. So it is something that I will never stop recommending. Let's take a look at some of your comments.
Oculto is the best. Thank you, Betsy.
Yeah, Betsy says you are the best. Liz says love the guava with Stilton.
That's a good pairing.
That could be a good pairing. Let's see what else we have. Great spotlight, enjoying learning about different food and cooking from Carmen. This is from Trudy. This is awesome. Doug says, glad I stopped by. And Liz says, Carmen with big, iconic smiles. Thank you for your comments, Frank. We still have another guest. So I want to make sure that, and then all the other comments have to do with white chickens. You'll have to come back so we can like totally destroy.
I'd like to prepare for that conversation.
Okay, I will not catch you by surprise again. Before we wrap it up, is there anything else that you're thinking about?
So if you would like to order chiles en nogadas for this Saturday, go to Puerto Vallarta, Oculto Puerto Vallarta in our Facebook page, which is right there.
Yes.
on your screen on Facebook. And look, scroll a little bit down, and the chiles en nogadas will come. It's a link so you can pay online before Thursday noon. Okay. And for our dinner on Saturday the 28th for the Mexican National Month, also scroll down and you get to pay your tickets online. So please come and taste, have the experience with us. We still do have some summer prices. It's not going to be the same prices for the high season. So
fair.
Yeah, we're giving you a chance to enjoy a little bit discounted pricing. So yes, if you have any questions, please contact me on Facebook or on WhatsApp. Also, it's there on our Facebook, or ask Paco for my WhatsApp. That could be too.
Of course.
And that's it. Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure to have you, Carmen. Thank you as always. Come back whenever you want. People love what you do, and I love what
Muchas
you
gracias.
do. I love what you do.
Muchas
We
gracias.
are now going to take a 30-second pause, and we're going to switch guests. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little screen in front of you. We are going to mute the camera and the microphone, but I promise you we'll be back in 30 seconds. Don't go anywhere. I think we're good. Gigawatts.
Yeah.
You made it. Was traffic absolutely horrible out there?
It wasn't so bad once we got out of Mezcales. Mezcales was pretty backed up.
Uh-huh.
So it took us about 20 minutes just to get out of there. And then it was pretty much smooth sailing, through PV. It wasn't too bad.
I'm so glad that you're here, and I'm so glad that you brought a copy of the book. But even before we get into the book, tell me a little bit about your origin story. How did you find Puerto Vallarta? How did you end up here?
Okay.
Talk to me.
All right. So my journey begins, I guess, in the military. Oh, well, before that, I had a little bit of trauma. Went in the military, had a little trauma there. Got out. I'm doing a short version because we don't want to hear about all that. But I started looking for ways that I can heal myself holistically. And a lot of the ways that I saw was through vision, visualizing it, manifesting, affirmations. And I really wanted to have something centrally located. So I decided to create something for me. I love journals. I love to sit down and read and think about myself and analyze myself. So I was like, what can I do? And just put it all in one place. So I created the Unlimited Mindset Journal.
I love it. Look at you, man.
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
Look, you guys. It's chunky and it's substantial. Tell us about the Unlimited Mindset, a daily manifestation journal.
Well, I started to focus from around the universal laws. I think that encompasses everybody, regardless of what religion or thought, spiritual beliefs that you have. I believe that encompasses everything. So I started there, and I kind of just grew from there. Because if you used to go over through the 12 laws, if you really look at them, it really is a central place for you to begin a manifestation out, because it already goes with the vibration of the universe. So since it's already going to the vibration of the universe, for you just to put it into your daily practice makes it even stronger, and you can create more abundance and manifest more for yourself. So I decided to put that in a little short blurb about the universal laws in the front. And then I have some affirmations in here.
150.
150, yes. Because I don't know about you, but before I went and started looking for ways that I could just lift myself up and be confident, I had not a single word to say. I was just like, sure, yeah, I'm nice. So I decided to write it down to take all of the thought process out of, what am I going to write? What can I say positive about myself, especially when there's not a lot of positivity around the environment, lots of distractions, lots of negativity. So to just cut down on the time to, think about yourself, you can look in the front of the book and have it for you. But let's see. Did I get off of your question?
Yeah, you're
Okay.
fine. You're fine. You're fine.
Okay, I do that sometimes. I do have PTSD and I have anxiety and depression. So sometimes my mind, goes, broop, broop, what were we talking about? And it's just okay, so there's a dream journal portion here for every day. Every day there is 8 pages for each day. Now you don't have to use every single page for each day. It's totally up to you. But I put it in place because it is very good for you to wake up in the morning, and whatever dream that you have, there are clues and things that help us in our waking life, in our dreams. So it's the best thing to do is to wake up in the morning and get it down as soon as possible, because throughout the day, you'll forget it. And then there's a place for just to write about, to help your day start off, to set your intentions for the day. Put your actions into a place where you can plan it out. You know what I mean? So then it has just a regular journal entry throughout the middle of your day, or maybe towards the end you want to write.
Yeah.
And then for the other ones, it has a mood tracker in here for those of us who have issues with our moods. I know for people who are bipolar, or maybe they have a mood and personality disorder, or just ADHD,
Yeah.
whatever,
Yeah.
And then it has a bedtime planner. So this is just a checklist you can do before you go to bed. It could be podcasting, your moods. It could be, just whatever it is that you want to put right there. Those are just suggestions.
Yeah, I'm showing on the screen 2 of your fill-in blank pages. So this is really a journal / workbook
Yes,
so that one can work on improving oneself.
absolutely.
I think that's absolutely beautiful. How did you, because I mean, publishing a book and having it available on, oh, by the way, before I forget, let me get rid of, because I'm still showing Carmen's credentials, bad person. I have your credentials here, and I have your name, and I have your email address so that people can contact you directly. How did you decide you wanted to publish a book?
Well, I figured if I liked it, somebody else would like it. So I said, how do I do it? And I just went and looked for self-publishing. I got some help from Fiverr. They helped me make sure that the format was okay. My sister is actually a editor, so I had her look at my book. Of course, I paid her because she don't do nothing for free. But she checked my book out, make sure there's no typos, which I think there's one more that I messed up on. But after that, it was just like the ISBN was pretty cheap. You can get 3 in a pack from I have the link. I'll have to send it to you. But
No worries.
there's a link for it. You can get 3 or you can get 10, and just just put it on there, put it out there.
Who would you think, like I got the Kindle version because I wanted to be prepared to sit down with you, and I love the format. I loved what you included in it, and in fact, I want to play a little game.
Okay.
But before we play the game, I want to ask you a question.
Okay.
Now, actually, no, wait a second. Let's play a game. We're going to ask you, audience, to give us any number between 1 and 150, and we'll use the first 3 numbers for something. Any number between 1 and 150, just put it on the screen. We'll look at only the first 3. So if you start seeing a lot of comments with numbers, that means you went a little crazy. So just 3 numbers on your comments. I'll come back to look at the comments in a second. Who is this book for? Who is your target customer?
My target customer is for those who want to visualize a new being, a new person of who you are. So right now I'm this state. My visual for myself is to be a very good, successful businesswoman, to be financially, have a lot of financial freedom, my kids to be able to travel. So that's my vision. And I'm putting all of these things into, the vision. And that's what I want the people to do. I want them to literally envision themselves in a new role for who they want to be. So they can take this and every day, repetition, it sinks into your subconscious, and eventually you'll be the exact person that you were just visualizing yourself to be. So that's who I want to be for. Those who want to improve themselves and be better, just for them.
I love it. Now, what advice would you give to someone who is thinking, oh my God, a journal, that means I have to do it every day, and that means I have to learn a new habit and stick to it or stick with it? What kind of words of encouragement would you give anyone that is watching out there?
I would say give yourself grace, because to do anything, you can't beat yourself down and say, I didn't do it this day. Oh my gosh, I suck. I'm a terrible person. No, you have to give yourself grace and allow yourself time to change. It took you, however old you are. I'm 39. So it took me 39 years to be one way, and then I'm trying to change it.
You're not 39.
I am. I'll be 40 in October.
Stop it. You look so young and beautiful.
Well, thank you. Yeah, but it takes time. It's not going to happen overnight. It took you 30, however many long, to get there. Give yourself grace and give yourself time to change one thing at a time. Like if your goal is to be consistent in your cleaning, but you have a hard time getting up doing it every day. Like, oh, I know I just cleaned that. Like, I don't want to do that again. Give yourself grace. Give yourself an hour just to clean. And then, that's something that you did for the day. Just try to do one thing a day. As long as you've done something, you're progressing towards your goal. If you do nothing, then you'll just always be there. It'll never change. Even just one day of just changing something you do can be beneficial.
Wow,
So
that's
just-
huge.
Yeah. So just
I
take
love
your
it.
time.
I love it. Unlimited Mindset, a daily manifestation journal. It is available on Amazon.com as a physical book, and it is chunky because it has enough pages for you to fill out for the whole year. I purchased a Kindle version, and I don't know how to write onto a Kindle book. Maybe it's possible, maybe it's not. Has anybody else commented this to you?
No, nobody has commented that to me. But what you can do is, it is a PDF.
Yes.
So if you stick it into the Adobe fill and sign, I'm sure you'd be able to do it that way. You can print them out. I haven't, not.
Print them out. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay, so here's the game that I like to play, If You're Game.
Sure, I'm always ready
We
for a game.
don't always have an author here at the Spotlight, and today we have a published author. And I know that this book has 150 affirmations. And Sherry Cooper has chosen affirmation number 47. And we are going to have Giga read affirmation number 47 and talk to us about what it means. Game?
Okay, I'm game.
Okay, so 40, this one is for Sherry and for everybody else. Affirmation number 47 is,
I am confident in overcoming obstacles.
I am confident in overcoming obstacles. You have not driven through to Jalisco highways.
I have. We drove here from the United States, actually.
Oh, really?
Yes, 30 some hours.
But you have to be confident in overcoming obstacles if you try a Mexican highway.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. Tell me what this affirmation means to you.
Okay, to me, it started off with the words I am. That means that it would be in conjunction with your root chakra, which is the ground. So that means that it's giving us our grounding foundation and something for us to really step into. So it says, I am confident. That means at my foundation, at my core, I am confident in who I am. And I'm going to step forth and I'm going to do whatever I need to do. I don't care if I'm barreling through the obstacle, if I'm jumping over it, if I'm slightly moving out the way, or I'm flicking my fingers. Some way it's going to go.
I love it. I love it. I'm going to watch this again because
Okay.
I love your energy.
Thank you.
I really, really do. Liz picked affirmation number, salud. Liz picked affirmation number 29. So this one is for Liz and everybody else.
Okay, I feel comfortable in my skin. So that means that I am just the way I am. I'm gorgeous, I'm beautiful just the way I am. I don't have to change for anybody. I'm comfortable in this outfit, I'm gonna wear it. You know, my skin is my outfit, I'm comfortable in it.
I wish you could have seen the look on your face when Carmen and I were starting to talk about white chickens. You turned all the colors of the spectrum. Was the knowledge of Mexican racism new to you? And I don't mean to put you on the spot.
Oh, it's okay, I don't mind. Actually, no, it wasn't necessary. The word itself was pretty self-explanatory.
Had you heard it before?
No, but I can kind of put it together. We have some of those in the United States.
Well, I don't know if you call them white chickens,
No, we don't call them white.
there's a Facebook page called White Chickens, and it is a collection of profound cultural knowledge statements made by. Never mind. But I'm glad that you're comfortable in your own skin. I'm comfortable in my own, and I have a special place in my garbage disposal for white chickens. And we're not going to go there now. Okay.
I would love to be here for that podcast.
I'll make sure. Actually, well, it's maybe too soon to talk about it. We're working. No. Fuck. I already said. Okay. There's a project in the works that is going to be called. What did we say it was going to be called? Wait. It sounded so good when I came up with a title. It was going to be called Expats and Entitlement. Oh.
Can I tell you a story?
Yes, please.
Okay, so when we first came here, we came here in March of this year.
Okay.
We hopped off the plane and we were all chilling. We were, getting pushed because I have bad knees. So in the airport, I get in a wheelchair. I'm not doing those stairs. I'm not doing that. So he's pushing me in a wheelchair, and there was somebody in the way. And the first thing out of anybody's mouth that I heard was clean. And I was Like, oh,
What
we
was
called him a gringo. The
Oh.
guy, because there's a guy in our way. He's just rolling. And we're like, excuse me. He said, excuse me. The guy pushed me. And the dude just looked around like at us and was just like, he kept going about his business. And the dude just pushed me past, he finally got around and the guy wheeling me, he's just like, gringo. I was like, oh, y'all have him here too.
was this a Mexican guy or?
It was a Mexican guy, but the guy was, I don't know if the gentleman was Mexican or not, because, we're all shades,
Yes.
Mexicans, Black Americans, we all have the same shades, all different colors from white all the way up to dark.
We all have the same body types.
Absolutely. And I couldn't tell if he was American or if he was Mexican, but I know the guy willing me was Mexican and he definitely said gringo, clear as all day.
Well, words like gringo are this coming from a Mexican, because we use the G word all the time.
Yes.
In casual conversation, it's benign, but it can be said with a very mean spirit. And that may have been what happened to you, or maybe a lightly mean.
Oh, no, he didn't call me one. He called the guy in our way one.
Oh, ooh.
Yeah, because he was just standing there entitled. Like, he didn't have anywhere to go. Like, I wasn't being pushed through a wheelchair. My family we had like 6 or 7 suitcases. Mind you, there's 5 of us. So there's 6 or 7 suitcases. And we say, excuse me. He didn't want to move. He was just like, and the guy pushing me was just like, gringo. Just kept going on about it.
We come in all flavors. Let me ask you, before we get to the third number.
Okay.
I mean, the you that I'm perceiving, and this is the first time we've met.
Yeah.
Seems to me like someone that either did not need the book or has benefited truly from the book. Who am I talking to?
You are talking to the person that is actively in the book, and I did need the book. I actually came down here to get healing, and I met a beautiful acupuncturist. Her name is Destiny Loper, Total Wellness Coaching. She's amazing. And we have been doing some amazing work. And she was just like, yo, do that, publish that, put it out. Yes, this is a part of your journey. You are doing very well. I love your progress. And it just, I don't know, I've brightened up since I got here. Even my dad was just like, man, you're so bright right now. You're just, just happy. I've lost weight. I used to be a little hefty. And I've lost weight. And
You were abundant.
yes,
Like me.
abundant. No,
I'm abundant.
yes, you are abundant, but I was more abundant.
Okay. You were abundanter.
Abundanter of the abundant nest of the abundant seed.
Let's go get some tortas right now. That's all I'm going to think about. Okay. Focus, Giga. Focus. This is a double one because the same person that gave us number 22, my friend Dale, is also asking, how or why did you become Giga Watts? But first, the number. It's number 22.
Number 22 says, I feel a deep sense of love for myself.
That's a good one. That's a
tough one.
That's a tough one.
It is, definitely.
Yes.
But I found a way to help this, be a little less like daunting. Like when you're like, I feel a deep sense of love for myself. And then you're thinking like, do I? Do I? Yes. If you wake up every single morning and you look in that mirror and you say, I love you, say it 10 times. And every single morning, I guarantee you will start to feel that. And it's a difference. Because I used to be in a spot where I didn't love myself. I didn't even like myself. And I'm just like, why not? And then I started to take myself on dates just by myself. It was just in the house. I didn't want to spend too much money. But I would sit in the house. I would be by myself. All my kids, my husband asleep. I would do some self-care for myself. I would sit and meditate. I would listen to some binaural beats. I just listen to regular jazz playing or just raindrops falling, anything I could think of that was just, I was feeling right then in that moment. And I would just find a way to start loving myself. I don't care if I had to work out, if I had to play a video game. I love video games, by the way. Wait for the new Black Ops 6 coming out, guys. I'll be on that. Anyways, but I just had to because I have children. I don't want my children growing up feeling the same vibration that I felt. Like this really sucked going through trauma. I mean, it's terrible. So I just did not want my children to feel that. So I just started to love me, and it's made a big difference.
Before I forget, I owe you and your husband an apology because we usually broadcast from the cafe,
Oh,
but they were doing some very loud construction work above it. So there was this constant drilling that would have made this really fun conversation very difficult. That's why we switched over here. And I noticed your husband and your children were fidgeting and waiting out there and stuff like that. How unfortunate, and correct me if I'm wrong, that one cannot get the printed version locally, or can this be found locally?
You can actually still purchase it. I purchased mine on Amazon, and they delivered it to my house here in Mexico. So you can get it and have it delivered.
Okay.
Here. It will have an import tax on it.
Yeah. No, the only reason is for those of us that kind of like the tactile experience, I'm going to try to flick some pages here in front of you. You can see this is really chunky and it's beautifully designed, and it has all these spaces. So this is ideal for those of you that don't have the shaky handwriting like I have. Like I do journaling, but I do it on the computer.
Right.
So this very valuable would probably not work for me.
Okay.
But if you are a handwriter and you want a good place to put together all your thoughts and feelings and dreams and whatnot, what a beautiful project.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And I will look on the way to make it so you can actually type something on your journal for the internet, and I will send it to you by email. So you will have that.
Interesting. I'm good. But it's there are so many possibilities because one can write. There's a way to author PDFs in which you can actually write onto a PDF, and I'm sure you will be looking at all kinds of alternatives in the future. What else is going on?
Well, I'm actually a travel agent. I specialize in wellness travel. I promote retreats and special personalized events. So for those who want to actually take this trip to a safe space and just relax and detox, maybe have my journal and sit on the beach and relax, I can set that up for you. I have connections to mushroom retreats, psilocybin. I have some womb healers. I have acupuncturists. I have a few private chefs and some things on standby. So if you just say, hey, I just want to go and give myself a VIB treatment, I can get you transportation. You can just sit back there and think about nothing. Or you just pay for it and take your trip. That's it.
I love it.
Yes.
Are we missing anything?
I also do music. I sing and rap too.
Good. You put together an album.
I did. That was when I was coming out my shell, the beginning of my actual flower. I was like, okay, I used to write down my lyrics a long time ago and do poetry. So I was like, yeah, let's do this. I went and I found a friend from high school. He did a couple beats for me and I recorded it and put an album out there.
I love hearing all this information, Giga, because there's so many people that don't pay enough attention to themselves to really nurture their lives with new activities and new challenges. How did you get this way? What kind of advice do you have for anyone watching that may be afraid to try a new venture?
Well, if you're always afraid to try a new venture, your life will always be boring.
Tómala. Tómala. That was good.
Yeah. It will. And you're always going to be in this space like, hey, I want to go this. You always be, I wanna. And then stop being I wanna and just go be. Like life is to be. It's not to sit and worry about it or fret about it. Just go live your life. It wants to be lived. Trust me. It collects dust in the corner. Please trust me.
I have a wish for you.
Okay.
My wish for you is that you will give yourself the opportunity to talk more about your book and do like local in-person conversations like this one. Because I think you would inspire a number of people. It would be a great way for you to get to know more people from the community B, for more people from the community to get to know you. And this is going to be a shameless plug to the adult education wing here at the Joint Boutique Hotel and Co-work, where there's a classroom in the back. That's where I teach music appreciation presentations. I'm a musician too.
I will go there. I will be
Tómala.
there. Thank you.
Tómala. So, I mean, my wish for you, seriously, is that you will give yourself that opportunity, because the enthusiasm you irradiate in person will go so much far in promoting the book you've created. It really will.
Thank you.
It really will. Viewers, if you'd like to see more gigawatts in your electrical connection, oh, that's right, you never answered the question. How did you become gigawatts?
Okay, funny story. Growing up, me, my dad, and my sister, every Friday, we would sit down and watch either Star Wars or Back to the Future.
Atta girl.
Yeah, now Back to the Future, it says, what? And I was just like, huh. And then I looked up gigawatts and it said 10 to the ninth power. And I know I am exponentially amazing, right? So I was like, okay, 10 to the ninth exponent. Okay, I'm doing that. I'm raising that to the 10th power. Okay, bet. Giga is the first name. Watts is also a last name, which is also has to be a name in my family, down my family tree. So it's like, oh, so I don't really have to change anything. It's a first and a last name. Boom, that's my name. I'm Gigawatts from now on. And it's that.
I love it. I love it. Anything that I'm not asking you that you want to make sure that people know?
If you want to, okay. Yes, there is one thing.
Go for it.
All right. The number one thing about anything in life is to be true to yourself and to be authentic. Don't let anyone else dim your light or tell you what you can and can't be, what you can and can't say, and what you can or can't do, dress, whatever. If it's you and it's a part of you, do not block it. Let it shine. Because if you block it, depression is right around the corner. Don't do that. Just be you. That's it.
Did you hear that? Very important. Giga, thank you so much for coming. Every time you're up to something new and wonderful, please come back. If there's new news to share, if we end up talking about white chickens, I will give you a call, because just having your expressions over there on the side was just like Carmen is making faces now. I want to thank you both, ladies. You're both very inspiring to me, and hopefully also to the people that are watching. And oh, here's Carmen. Yes, Carmen, who doesn't have a microphone, wants to say hello.
You want to say hello?
No.
Anyhow, this has been episode 26 of The Spotlight. What a pleasure to have a conversation with the both of you. And anyone out there that is moving or shaking or inspiring or is doing something amazing, just come over to The Spotlight and join us for free.
Really?
Yeah, there you go. Oh, Carmen can hold down. I love it. I'm not going to get up and hold down, but I'm going to tell you, I can hold down.
Sure you can. Anybody can hold down.
Well, I need to be high as a kite. But no. Oh, God. Are we hold down?
We're holding.
You this is okay. I'm hold downing and I'm twirling. Ay, Dios mío. Ay, Dios mío. This is what we do. I hope you're amused. We had a great time. I'll see you in a week, and I'll see you tomorrow morning for Coffee and Headlines. Take care.